And all of them swallowed the penny. He said the first one we swallowed, we let it pass through. The second one, we let it pass through. He said the third child that swallowed the penny, we just took it out as allowance. Yeah, we just took it out as allowance. So he didn't swallow no more pennies, I know that. Yeah. I was walking home the other day, seen a homeless guy, wanted to help him so bad, he helped me too. I had 10 cents in my pocket. And he said, well, sir, he said, can you give me some change so I can get me something to eat? So I'm like, okay, I know I got 10 cents, and I may have a few dollars in my wallet. He was like, I said, yes, sir, how much change you need? He said, I need about a quarter. I said, a quarter to go get you something to eat? I said, well, if you know to go get you something to eat for a quarter, I'm going with you. I'm hungry too. Yeah, I can fill up my house with groceries and everything. Forget going to Whataburger and McDonald's and all that there, even the Walmart. I can go straight to where you talking about, and that's the store. But he didn't want that. He wanted the other thing. So I left that alone. Then I was reading in the paper. It was a famous burglar. This burglar, he teed this house down to the T. So one day, the family went out of town and everything, so he already knew, okay, the family's gone, so now I can go in this house and get what I want. Next thing you know, the burglar get in the house, he creeped for a minute, he started creeping up, and all he heard was, Jesus is watching you. So he paused and stopped, like, looking around, like, who said that? Who said that? So he creeped up again a little more. And all he heard was again, Jesus is watching you. So he stopped in his track. All of a sudden, he started looking around. He seen this parrot in a cage. So he walked up to the parrot. He said, is that you saying that? Jesus is watching you? He said, yes. He said, well, what is your name, I asked? And the parrot said, my name is Clarence. And he said, well, what idiot would name his parrot Clarence? He said, the idiot that named that rock wall over there is watching you, Jesus. He was breaking the whole house. I think he turned his own self in. Yeah. I love churches. And when I leave here, I'm going to go get a 2-piece. Yeah. I told a joke the other day. I said, why did the chicken cross the road? And everybody like, well, we heard that when we little. But they didn't. They were like, well, to get to the other side. I said, no, because I was right behind him. I love chicken. Yeah, he was waiting on me. He wasn't trying to let me get him. I had to go, man, I love chicken. I love chicken so much. I cooked the chicken. The chicken looked at me and said, no, you ain't going to eat me today. Yeah, I barbecued last week because last week was my girlfriend. I want to let y'all know last week was my girlfriend's birthday. So I wanted to do a surprise birthday party and everything for her. I cooked her some barbecue, but didn't nobody get none but her. Yeah, when we spent all kind of money and everything. Next thing you know, when it was all done, she had the biggest plate out of everybody. So we all thinking like, okay, well, she gonna ration out the food. Nah, it didn't happen like that. Sharice took that plate, she looked at them ribs. I mean, when you got barbecue sauce on there that'll stick to you, that's what it did, it stuck right to it. Then nobody get no ribs is what I'm saying. So we looking for a cow right now so we can shop and eat and everything again. Do y'all know why elephants are not allowed at the beach? Elephants, yeah, because they can't hold up their trunks. Yeah, we can't go to the beach. Yeah, they can't hold up their trunks. Yeah. Y'all know what the octopus said to the other octopus? Can I hold your hand? Hand. You know, octopus got 8 hands, so the boy octopus told the girl octopus, can I hold your hand? Yeah, it happened. What did the one candle say to the other candle? The boy candle said to the lady candle, what, y'all know what it said? You want to go out tonight? Yeah, it happens. It happens. And see, like my mom, look at my mom. My mom's so beautiful, but her hair look like curly fries. I just need some ketchup. Y'all hungry? Yeah, she'll make a living. Now, I love my mom. Like I say, it's Mother's Day, and I mean, just growing up, my mom and I got 2 brothers. Guess who got in trouble the most? I did. I mean, my brothers and them, they can get out of it. I could too. But I had a brother that he gonna make sure if he got in trouble, I got in trouble too. And I probably didn't have to be there. I probably could have been laying down, sleep. Soon as he come in from the house, Mama, where you been? Didn't I tell you don't let that street light hit you? Yeah. Well, where your brother at? I don't know. But he didn't want to tell I was in the room asleep. So now everybody looking for me. And then when they find me, I have to wake up, go to the bathroom, get where you been? I was in the room. Go give me that bed. You gonna learn today. See her? That's catchy. So whenever y'all just want to tell your kids, oh, you think you know everything, honey. You gonna learn today. You don't know nothing. Now, mama, you know when your mama tell you that in her eyes like that, you know it means something. Just like, okay, I remember the first time my mama gave me a key when I was little. You know when your mama first give you a key to get in the house, you surprised. You want to surprise everybody. Ooh, I got a key to get in the house. But you only got one key, so you trying to, you don't want everybody to talk about it, so you just trying to go find keys, even if you find them on the ground. You put them on your keychain. But as soon as you go to the door, you forgot what key your mama gave you. So the first thing you do, you go, Mama, what key is this? Mama, what key is this? Go get you a soda out of there. Yeah, as soon as you get in there, you just tell your own self, go get you a soda out of there. You got frustrated trying to not be embarrassed, but you embarrassed because you can't find the key to get in. Now you getting on top of your gun, Mama! Your mama ain't even in the house while she gave you the key. Now you just yelling for nothing. Mama! What key it is, you still feeling bad. You know what I said? I remember that, it's just like keys. I don't like a lot of keys because when I was growing up, the janitor, and everybody had that janitor at school, right? They had a key to everything. Soda machine and everything. I didn't like that. Because that's so many keys that weigh you down, and I'm little, so I didn't want to be low to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I always wanted a big nose, but I got mine. Yeah. It happened.
Yeah, we taping you.
Oh, she taping me. Well, good. Then we're gonna be on the Showtime at the Apollo. Yeah, we is. You know, I met this preacher the other day. The preacher man needed some directions to churches. Right up here, right up the way by Camp Boyd. So he was like, young man, he said, can I ask you something? He said, can you give me some directions? I said, yes, sir, I can. He said, well, you from around here? You know, I said, yes, sir, I've been in Texas all my life. And he said, well, I just got here. I've been in Texas like 6 months, but I'm still new to parts. I said, okay, well, I try to help you out as much as I can. He was like, okay, he said, I just need to know where churches is. He said, for some reason, me and my wife, we got an urge that we just want some churches. The mashed potatoes, biscuit, he started naming all those corn on fries. I wanted some too. But he didn't give me none. But he was like, well, you sure you can give me the directions? I said, well, sir, the street we already on, all you got to do is take the street all the way up to Lackland right here to Camp Boyd, and you'll see churches right there. And he was like, oh, okay. He said, well, do you go to church? I said, yes, sir, I go to church. I said, matter of fact, I was raised in church. I was brought up in church. My grandfather been preaching all my life. And he was like, oh, okay. So he said, you know about God and love the Lord this name. I said, yes, sir. He said, well, how long has it been since you went to church? I said, well, I ain't gonna lie to you, it's been a while. I said, well, I keep the Lord in my heart. He said, okay, well, I thank you for giving me those directions. He said, well, I tell you what, he said, you need to come to my church so I can give you the directions how to find God. I said, no, you can't. If you know how to get to churches, you have to get to God. You got to learn the directions is what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, it's just like water flows. Yeah. I knew a preacher man. It was funny because he told me, he was like, Steve, you know, a lot of people don't expect a preacher to do certain things because he's a preacher. But he said, you know, sometimes I do want to go to a bar and, you know, have a good time just to have he said, I might just have a couple of drinks and go home because I know I got to preach in the morning and everything. But he told me he did it one day. He was from Oklahoma. The preacher man said that everybody in the community like knew him. So what he did though, he was like, okay, well this is my weekend. I'm gonna go to the bar, have me a few drinks, and I'm gonna go home so you know we can go to church in the morning. And like I said, everybody in the community knew him. So when he got to the bar, the bartender was like, well, hey Mr. Tom, how you doing? He was like, oh, I'm all right. And he's like, well, what you doing here, Mr. Tom? You ain't been here in like 6 years. He said, I just had to get out the house. You know, my wife was kind of getting on my nerve, but I just had to get out the house and, you know, to enjoy myself. He said, well, you know, you can't drink too much. You got to go to church. He's like, yeah, that's why I'm here. He said, I'll just take 2 Budweiser. He said, okay. He said, well, I'm glad you did come in, Mr. Tom. He said, I got a problem. He said, I got this parrot over here, and the parrot uses profanity, like bad language. He said, I've been trying to get him away from doing that, but he said, like, the people that's in the bar, that's what he hears. So the preacher man was like, oh, okay. He said, well, you know, whenever I ask people to come to my church, you know, and the stuff that they do, and they find Jesus and God, they you know, it strays away from them. He said, I tell you what, bring the parrot to church tomorrow, and we'll see if that works. So, okay. Sunday morning come, Sunday school here, preachers preaching and everything, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the parrot says profanity words. So the preacher, hold on. He said, hold on. He said, hold on, Mr. Parrot. You can't be saying those words like that in here in church. And the parrot said, why not? Everybody that's in here was at the bar last night. It's all fine. Okay. It's all fine. And then, what do you call a dog with no legs? Do anybody know what you call a dog with no legs? It don't matter, he ain't gonna come to you anyway. Do you know what you get when you take a cow to Alaska? Cold ice cream. Yeah, and I love vanilla too. Bluebell is the best made ice cream in the country.
Sure it is.
You see? Yeah, it is. I love Bluebell. My grandma used to have a machine that made ice cream. We loved it so much. That's all we used to do. Forget going to Brahms, Dairy Queen, all that. Granny, you gonna break out that machine? Mm-hmm. She break that machine out. I learned how to make ice cream from scratch.
Did you sit on the top of the freezer when they were freezing it?
No, that was too cold.
They put towels on top of it, and I was the oldest kid. And they put a bunch of towels on it, and my father, they had a hand crank thing, and we had some good ice cream.
That's good. Do you like sherbet ice cream too?
Well, we didn't make sherbet. They just made ice cream.
Well, I love sherbet. If you got some, I can say I'll buy it.
I don't know
I just
where
don't
they
have no money right now.
I tell you what, I was born in Oklahoma. It's a good place to be from.
Mm-hmm.
My sister in Oklahoma, she's allergic to things. And the last time she came to visit us, well, first of all, we said, we can't put you up now. She thinks we've been in the pen or something. And, well, sometimes I feel like, I get lost up here. And he said, my husband said, we don't have any place to put you up around here, Margaret. He said, we've been moved out of our house. And we've got an apartment now. Well, my daughter said our house was in a bad neighborhood. We had loved our neighborhood.
Well, can I ask you something?
But anyway, we lived near.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Anything.
Oh, okay. We need to tell them to start getting Klondike bars in
Well,
here.
I tell you, we lived near a Brahms, and we would go over there, and my husband would want a chocolate malt.
A chocolate malt.
And I wanted a strawberry malt. And they would mince those strawberries in there. And we don't go do that anymore. But we do have some. Every once in a while, we have some leftover ice cream from downstairs up in our refrigerator. You sure have to hurry to get up there. The fourth floor, it'll all be melted before we get up there.
Somebody told me this morning. They say, Stephen, you sure look tired. I said, I am tired. I said, I woke up this morning and thought I was going to have my spunk with me. I said, well, my spunk already had left before I did, so I had to catch up with him, come to work this morning. Yeah, I had some crackers. Them crackers was the best thing. The only thing about it, I didn't have no peanut butter to go with it.
You didn't have any peanut, but we had peanut butter in our crackers.
I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter.
We put peanut butter on crackers.
Well, my sheets on my bed are made of peanut butter, so every time I go home, I eat a bite of my pillow. I'm just saying, I don't do that.
No, we have brown Ritz crackers in our carpet, and I put peanut butter on.
I don't do that.
And we make little sandwiches out of it.
I don't know how much time we have, cause I know I am real busy, because if you notice that Miss Annabelle's not here, so it's leaving me to do a lot of things that she do too. I'm not saying I want to leave. Actually, I want everybody to come in. Y'all see Mr. Ed right there? Y'all remember the first time I seen Mr. Ed, it was funny because I was just looking at his chest. How you doing? I wasn't looking up, I was looking at his chest because he's so tall. I was like, how you doing? Oh, okay, I ain't gonna mess with him. I ain't gonna, no, that's not. He look like Mr. Ed for real, Mr. Monster. I ain't gonna mess with him. Nah, for real, because my brother kind of tall too. And it's funny because when you little and you trying to talk to somebody, yeah, you really don't want to look up because now you know that you have to look up to them. And some people take that to advantage too. Just imagine you and your brother, and he way up here and you like this, and your brother talking to him, but you really want to look at him so, but you looking at his chest, and then when you look up, you know you got that fear, and like, oh man, he might hit me in the head and knock me down. Like you go to Sobeys pizza, Chuck E. Cheese, they got them things to be boom, boom. That's how my brother and them, yeah, that's how short I am. That's why my head's so small. Somebody told me I look like Beetlejuice. Oh, yeah, but don't say it too many times or I may vanish or something. I don't do that. I gotta go to work. I'm gonna tell y'all this weekend. I'm gonna bring my sons them up here either tomorrow or Sunday. But I'm gonna bring my son up here so y'all can see them. If y'all want them, they on eBay, but they ain't for sale though. But y'all can borrow them. Yeah. You know, my son them mixed with Hispanic, and it's funny. Somebody told me a Hispanic joke one time. They say, man, why do Mexican people don't barbecue? I'm like, they do. They barbecue all the time. They probably barbecue more than anybody. But he was like, nah, just answer that. I was like, okay, well, why Mexican people don't barbecue? He said the beans keep falling through the grill. The beans keep falling through the grill. I'm like, okay, well, I ain't gonna taste none of their beans then. I don't want none of that. Well, I don't know how much time I do have, but I thank y'all for coming to the show. And I have another comedy show on the 18th of this month. And then I talk about my mom some more since she ain't here. She won't be here. So when I get home, I can hear that. You're going to learn today. You see that? That's catchy, though. That's catchy. Thank y'all for coming to the show, though. I thank y'all.